Hello, I'm Holly and today I have my end of year / Christmas book haul. I know this one's quite late, but this is actually going to be the last one of my end of year series. I know that there have been a lot of videos going out recently, so I hope that you have enjoyed them, but this is the last one. The last 2020 end of year kind of video, and that is my book haul. So these are not just books that I got at Christmas. I had a few subscription box kind of things, so I got some from that, but most of them are from Christmas that I asked for, and there are 20 books in this video. I think it's pretty self-explanatory to say that I'm excited for these books. I'm going to try not to be so repetitive. I might just tell you the plot. But yeah, I think we should just dive straight in. So the first lot of books are from subscription boxes or any kind of box that I did not pick the book for, and the first two are actually from two mystery book boxes. So I was going to do a video. I bought 3, but then I had some major issues with one of them, so I just never made that video. But these 2 books, I don't know if I'm that excited. One of them I think could be really good, but the other I'm like, no. So that one is The Eyes of Darkness by Dean Koontz. I have heard a lot about this author. I think he's very prolific in the thriller, horror genre. And the little bit on the front said, did this thriller predict the coronavirus outbreak? So I don't think this is going to be one that I'm going to get to very soon, because if it has a pandemic, I'm not ready for that. And I'll just read you the little blurb on the back for this one because I don't know anything and it's very short. It's been a year of unbelievable heartache since her son Danny's death. Now the Vegas show that she directed is about to premiere, so she vows to put her grief behind her. Only there is a message for Tina scrawled on the chalkboard in Danny's room, 2 words that will send Tina on a terrifying journey, not dead. Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna like this one, but I might give it a go in like a thriller video. I might do like a thriller, like trying thrillers video. So I'm not sure about this one. And then the other one I got was Holy Fools by Joanne Harris. This is the author of The Gospel of Loki, which is a book that I didn't love. She has done a lot of other books. I think she did Chocolat, and this one is a historical fiction that is set in 17th century France against a backdrop of witch trials, regicide and religious frenzy. And this is the story of Juliet, one-time actress and rope dancer. I think it's to do with like religion. I think it's to do with, I really don't know, some woman's life, retelling her life. I don't know too much. This one actually does interest me more. I do want to be reading some more historical fiction, so I might get to this one this year. We'll see. Yeah, I don't really know what to think about that one. Then we have the 3 books that were in my advent calendar. So in 2020, I bought a bookish advent calendar from These Novel Thoughts. I would definitely recommend going to check out their Etsy shop. I really enjoyed this advent calendar and I will definitely be picking up another one in the future if they do one again. But I got 3 classics in that. I got Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, The Trial by Franz Kafka, and then To Be Read at Dusk by Charles Dickens. So I have read Frankenstein. This is following this scientist who reanimates this corpse. Then we have The Trial by Franz Kafka. I'd never heard of this book before, but I believe that it follows this man who gets arrested. No one's telling him why he's been arrested, and he's trying to argue his case. And then we also have this Little Penguin Classics, which is 3 chilling ghost stories by Charles Dickens. The final lot of books are from my Book Loving Dragons boxes, so I have unboxed a lot of boxes from Book Loving Dragons, and I do actually have a code which is Holly, and that will get you 15% off. But the first book that I got was in my Halloween box, and that was The Whisper in Darkness by H.P. Lovecraft. Then in the Fae box I got The Stolen by L. Andrew. This is set in this circus where this woman has got trapped by Mama Wren, and they're forced to perform in a circus. This one sounds very intriguing to me. I do like a circus theme in a book, so I think I might get to this one soon. And then in my winter Christmas box, I got The Winter Spirits by E.C. Hibbs. This is a polar fantasy that is set in the Northlands, and I think it's got something to do with the Northern Lights, who kind of get drawn out of the sky. And it says the spirit of the sky gets trapped in her human form, and this mage end up going on this quest. I think I'm going to try and get to this one during Polathon, which is a polar fantasy readathon hosted by Jade at JD Ray Reads. Sounds like it would be perfect for that, and I'm very intrigued to see what I think about this one. Okay then, so the next 12 books are the ones that I asked for Christmas, and a lot of these are actually on my like reading goal, 21 books I want to read in 2021, because obviously I wanted to buy them so I could read them. So some of it might be repetitive, but then I also have a couple of extras in there, and I think we should just dive in. The first one I have is The Lady's Guide to Celestial Mechanics by Olivia Waite. This is a female-female romance set, I'm not sure exactly when, sometime in the past. This is a historical romance, and I believe that there is one woman who is a scientist, and I don't know, she falls in love with someone. I don't really know too much, but I think that's a good thing to go into romances not knowing much. Then we have Lovely War by Julie Berry. This is a historical fiction set in the First and the Second World War, and it's following Aphrodite, who is on trial for having an affair with Ares, the god of war, and it's very much about war and love and the interactions between those things. I've heard fantastic things. I love this cover, and hopefully I can get to this one soon. Then we have another romance, which is Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. Another romance. I want to try more romance. I don't know if it's going to be a genre for me, but it's always fun to try new things. So this is following this girl called Chloe Brown who has a chronic illness, and I think that she was in some near-death experience, like she almost died, and because of that she's made this bucket list of things that she wants to do to get a life, to fully live her life, such as enjoy a drunken night out, ride a motorcycle, go camping, that kind of thing. And I think she falls in love with the superintendent of her building, or like a handyman. I don't know. Romance. I've heard good things about it, and I wanted to give it a go. Then we have The Mad Ship and the Ship of Destiny by Robin Hobb, the second and the third book in the Live Ship Traders series. This primarily follows the Vestrit trading family, who own a live ship, which is a ship that comes to life when 3 generations of a family have died on its decks. And at the beginning of the first book, which is Ship of Magic, the patriarch of this family dies. That's not a spoiler, but that brings the live ship to life, and one of our characters, Althea, the youngest daughter, believes that the ship is going to go to her, but it ends up going to her sister instead. This like sparks a whole journey. There are sea serpents, there is a pirate who wants to be the king of the pirates, lots of perspectives. I am really loving this series. So I read The Mad Ship, I've just finished The Mad Ship, I love this one, and I'm hoping to get to Ship of Destiny soon. The next book is The Vampire Lestat by Anne Rice. This is the second book in the Vampire Chronicles. Yes, the Vampire Chronicles, the first book being Interview with the Vampire. I loved Interview with the Vampire, it was one of my favourite books of 2020. This is the sequel, following Lestat, the vampire who turns our main character in the first book, and I just want to read you the blurb because I love it. Lestat, a vampire, but very much not the conventional undead, for Lestat is the truly alive. Lestat is vivid, ecstatic, stage-struck, and in his extravagant story he plunges from the lasciviousness of 18th century Paris to the demonic Egypt of prehistory, from fin de siècle New Orleans to the frenetic 20th century world of rock superstardom. As pursued by the living and the dead, he searches across time for the secret of his own dark immortality. I think that shows how melodramatic these books are, but I love it. And it says the brilliant, decadent, sensual sequel to the best-selling Interview with the Vampire. I'm very excited to get to this one. I think that I'm going to love it. Then we have Everyday Angel by Victoria Schwab. This was one of her earlier books. This is actually a binder of the series, so I think there's 3 books in here. I want to read all of Victoria Schwab's or V.E. Schwab's books because she's one of my favourite authors, and I believe that this one seems like a typical young adult paranormal, and it follows this girl who is a guardian angel, and she has to find and guide 3 different girls through each of their problems to earn her wings. I think the story behind this one is that Victoria Schwab got the plot of the book, like someone gave her the plot and then she wrote it, so it might be quite different from all of her other books. I don't really know what I'm going to think about this one, but I might do like a vlog reading the whole thing. Obviously it's 3 books in one, in like one vlog. Let me know if you'd be interested in that. But yeah, I'm intrigued to see what I think about this one. Then we have two books from N.K. Jemisin. We have The Stone Sky and The Kingdom of Gods. These are both the last book in trilogies. So The Kingdom of Gods is the third and final book in the Inheritance trilogy, which is set in this world where there are gods and there's politics. I've talked a lot about the plot of this, but yeah, I'm very excited to continue this series. And then the other one is The Stone Sky. This is the third book in the Broken Earth trilogy. Again, I've talked about this series a lot, so I'm not going to go too in-depth on the synopsis, but there is a world, apocalyptic events, woman on a path of revenge, and lots of other things. The other two books were masterpieces in my opinion, and hopefully the ending delivers. We also have Freshwater by Akwaeke Emezi. This is a very short book, and I've heard fantastic things about this author. They have another book which is Pet, which I would also like to get to, but this one I'm a little bit confused about the synopsis. So I think there is this woman who has separate selves, like she has multiple selves because of some trauma in her past. I feel like it's going to be a very short and impactful read, and I cannot wait to get to this one. Then we have The Gilda Stories by Joelle Gomez. This is a vampire novel, and it says on the back that it became an instant lesbian classic because I think it's following this black woman. I don't know if she's a lesbian or bisexual because I've heard mixed things, but it's her life story. I think she was a slave. Was she a slave? She escaped slavery, becomes a vampire, and it's about her life. It's about blackness, as it says, radical ecology, redefinitions of family, and the erotic potential of the vampire story. I think I'm going to really enjoy this one too. And then finally we have a couple of classics. We have The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde and Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll. I'm sure that you're probably familiar with these, or at least you've heard something about them. So this one follows this man who makes this strange deal to stay young and beautiful forever, and there is this portrait of him that like all the ugliness and age gets put on that. It's a bit creepy, sounds gothic, I think I'm gonna love it. And then Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, I have already started this one, and this is the beautiful Mina Lima edition. It really is stunning, it's illustrated, there are interactive elements. So look, you got your cat moving, and I'm already halfway through. I've read Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, I've just got Through the Looking Glass left, and it's just nonsense. This is following this girl called Alice who goes through this like rabbit hole into Wonderland, which is this just wild place, to be honest. There's no rhyme or reason to anything that happens in this, but I did really enjoy Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, and hopefully I enjoy Through the Looking Glass too. And those are all the books that I have bought or received over the past few months. In 2021, I again am going to be quite conscious about the books that I'm buying. I had a 60 book limit last year and that worked really well for me, and I already want to buy tons and tons of books, but I'm trying to like rein myself in. But yeah, I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Have you bought any books, or did you receive any books for Christmas that you are really excited to get to? Or have you read any of these? What were your thoughts? And that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching, and to everyone out there, stay curious. Bye!